Hi and welcome to Reseller News. My name is Rich Pasini. Today is October 2nd, 2018. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you keep coming back for more. Today I got some interesting things I want to talk to you about, and I just want to share with you very briefly, hopefully. So without further ado, let's get right to it. I'm going to bump out of the screen here, and I'm going to go over here. And one of the topics is Amazon, as you can see here. For those who are new, just by the way, before I get into it, I do not read all the topics verbatim, all these different websites. As you can see on the top here, I have quite a few windows open up here. What I do basically is we'll go over very briefly with you. I will give you the website address, and the rest is up to you if you would like to pick up where I left off. So let's get started. This one here, this website right here is www.retaildive.com, and this goes on to say Amazon to boost minimum wage to $15 an hour for all employees. That's pretty good to hear. It goes on to say here Amazon will raise its minimum wage to $15 in effective November 1st, 2018. The company has announced. The move affects all company full and part-time, seasonal and temporary employees, including the U.S. and temporary employees in the U.S., including those hired by the agencies. The increases also apply to the employees at Amazon, Whole Foods, as well as the company's other subsidiaries. CNN reports. I'm not going to go in and go any further reading with this here, folks. I just wanted to share this with you guys. If you would like to read more about this here, just go to www.retaildive.com and you could pick up on the rest of the story. The reason why I don't read the whole stories on all these verbatim, because the news, the reseller news will go on for hours on end, and I know quite a bit of my reseller news segments go on for over an hour, and I do apologize about that, folks. I can only cram so many websites into one. I thought about it many times to just keep it as a news brief and cut it down to maybe 4 or 5 websites. But there's so much news out there, I just want to share with you guys. So I hope you don't mind. Let me click out of here really quick here. Next one over here. Millennials set to spend the most at the holidays. It says holiday shoppers expect to spend more money on holidays this year, 658 on the average compared to 632 last year. And millennials are poised to be the biggest spenders according to the Accenture's 12th annual holiday shopping survey. Of 1,500 U.S. consumers, older millennials will spend $779 on the average, according to the report. That's pretty good news. If us resellers, are able to make those sales, that'd be really great. That sounds like good news to hear. But for those who are right now lagging in sales, which I am, I would hope that could have come sooner, but sooner better than later. But we'll see what happens, folks. But this one here, just to let you know again, this one here is the retail I'm over here getting a tongue twisted here. www.retaildive.com, so you can read the rest of this story. All right, let's bump out of here. Sorry about that, folks. I get all tongue-tied here talking so much. That's why sometimes I can't do all of these, too much reading here. I get tired of talking after a while. But anyway, this one here is from the apnews.com. It says startups shook up the sleepy razor market. What's next? Then it goes on to say here, well, everybody heard about Harry's razors and stuff like that. This one here is New York AP Associated Press. What do you hate shopping for? Toothpaste, diaper rash cream, sunscreen. The guys who founded Harry's Shaving Club spend a lot of time thinking about this question. Then it goes on to say, let me just move this down a little here. The startup, which took on razors giants Gillette and Schick with its direct-to-consumer subscription model, has since expanded into traditional retail and launched a line of body care products on with $112 million in new financing to develop new brands. The company is now investigating what the other sleepy products, might be the right for this disruption here. Then it goes on to say over here, Our vision is to build the next generation consumer brand company, said Jeff Rader, who has recently took on the role of CEO of Harry's Labs, overseeing the development of new brands. It might be better products, upon a better experience getting products or of a brand that appeals to who they want to be as people. And you can check this out here. Like I said, again, I'm not going to read because I got quite a few windows open up there. I just thought I'd share this with you guys. That's basically, for those who are new here, that's what the Reseller News is all about. It's sharing information with you guys, especially if you're a reseller or you're a buyer in some cases. You might be interested in these topics. So I do my due diligence to pick out the best topics and share them with you. So I hope you do like this here and get something out of it. So let's move right along. This one here is from www.cnbc.com. As you can see, the little logo up here. It goes on to say, some Amazon sites should be added to the notorious market list because of counterfeits, apparel industry group says. Then it says the American Apparel and Footwear Association has made its recommendations to U.S. Trade Representative. Amazon, I'm just reading the little things over here, folks. Amazon hasn't been on the list before, but China's Alibaba was included as recently as last year. Amazon says it has zero tolerance for counterfeits. Well, I agree with you 100% because, if you're selling Gucci pocketbooks or Coach bags, I mentioned earlier in one of my other videos that I did get a trade violation from eBay in regards to a little Coach purse. I was under the assumption it was new, not new, that it was authenticated, it was authentic. And apparently, looking at it more and more, it didn't appear to be that way. So they removed it, and I'm glad they did. I'm all for doing the right thing, and I do not believe in selling counterfeit products. eBay does have a thing called Vero at ebay.com where you could text, you could either email them information, and you could find out a little more about how that service works. But yes, me by all means, I am not into selling counterfeit items, and that'll probably be the last thing I ever put as far as that part goes. But for those who do sell, designer pocketbooks or handbags or whatever, excuse me, just be careful, because like I said, they are cracking down on this here. As you can see, it says it right over here. Amazon says it's zero tolerance for counterfeits, so it's right there, man. So please, be careful. If you're going to get involved with that there. Not that I'm saying you're going to do it intentionally, but just make sure you authenticate the item you're selling to make sure it is a genuine product, a brand anyway. But let's move on to the next one here. Changes in the to eBay's eBay Canada user agreement announced. As a lot of people know that President Trump has made that agreement there with the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. And it says over here, just to read this, that this came out by Dan Wilson, October 1st, which is yesterday. eBay Canada will be making changes to the user agreement that governs the marketplace relationship with buyers and sellers. The new user agreement will take effect on the acceptance for new users on October 25th, 2018 for all others. You can read the announcement over here. If you're not familiar with this, if you do sell in Canada, you might want to check into this here and read more about it. I do not at this time sell to Canada, so I just basically stay within the United States. So for those who do, you might want to check this out. Also, if you want to leave a comment, I've left a comment once before on TameBay in regards to why don't people use videos in their eBay listings. So I did comment on that. I'm not going to comment on this here, folks, because for the simple reason is I don't sell in Canada. I don't deal with that. So for those who do, you might want to read this here. Let's keep moving right along. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is from tamebay.com. I'm sorry, folks. I do apologize. And the next one's going to be from TameBay as well. So let's move along. I might have a couple of TameBays up here. Let's see. This one is from TameBay. eBay fines 4% fines for U.S. sellers with very high service metrics start today. Now, this story came out October 1st, which was yesterday by Chris Dawson. And it goes over here. It says, if you sell on eBay.com, you'll want to check the seller dashboard today as eBay are now charging 4% fines for fines, mind you. Like a traffic ticket, a fine, right? Traffic fine. For sellers with very high service metrics. Sellers who have a high number of returns, for the item is not as described will pay an additional 4% of the final value fee as a fine, and there are no category fee caps. Okay, and then it says it right over here. Again, I just read that there. You could read it. You could click on. You could see the hyperlinks here. So if you click this on, you could read it, and you could read the selling fees. For more information, you could just click on these highlighted ones in red. I'm not gonna, again, I'm going to read the whole story about this here, but I just will read this one part here. It says the good news is that 4% fines will only apply to the categories where eBay judged you to have very high service metrics. In other categories that you sell in, you will still pay same fees and the fines also on impact your overall seller rating. Even if you get fines, that you're can retain a top-rated seller status if you qualify. I had a return. It's on its way back. I did it, I think on a Reseller News yesterday. I think I was talking about it, where the buyer had purchased a printer from me, and I stated it in the video that it said the item is being sold for parts not working. He sends it back. His reason is defective for not working. So when I get it back, I'll probably get it back sometime this week. I'm going to check it out, make sure nothing's damaged, and I am going to call eBay up and find out if they could compensate me for the return shipping, because the buyer ordered the item at his own discretion. He stated right there is for parts not working, and he bought it with the intention, I guess, for whatever he's going to do with it, and decided he didn't want it, and he sent it back as defective. So I don't know what else to say, folks. I try to be very descriptive in my listings, and I make sure that everything is to the T when it comes to that. Now, this buyer here, he purchased it on his end, knowingly that it was being sold for parts not working, and it says it right there, not working. He should be accountable for it, not me. So I'm hoping when I call eBay up, if they're going to somehow compensate me for that there. If the buyer don't, I'm wondering if eBay will step in and they will do something to make good on this here, because I don't think it's fair that he bought it knowingly it's not for parts not working, and that this may affect my seller performance, which I was told by an eBay teammate. So I am going to fight that there. But anyway, let's move right along, folks. You can check that out at tamebay.com. This story here. Okay. Here it says U.S. flag shredded by Florence sells for $10,900 on eBay. I'll tell you, if this is true, you could sell anything on eBay these days. It goes on to say here, I'm just checking my glasses here. It goes on to say over here, this September 16, 2018, file photo shows of tattered flag after Hurricane Florence in Jacksonville, North Carolina. The U.S. flag that captured the attention of the nation as it whipped in the wind in the North Carolina coast. Hurricane Florence was being auctioned to raise money for the American Red Cross. Well, if they're going to do it for that reason, that's a good cause, I believe. My personal take on it. It goes on to say here, Wilmington, North Carolina, the U.S. flag captured on live camera as it was being torn to shreds by Hurricane Florence has brought $10,900 at auction. So it goes over here. I'm just skipping here, folks. eBay Inc. said 25 people bid 25 people bid 96 times for the flag. It is not known who made the winning bid. Proceeds will go to the American Red Cross and its relief efforts. Well, that's a good thing. That's really good. That's a very good thing. That's at least it's not being sold as something that was people embarked on something like that there just to make money off. At least it's going for a good cause. If you want to check this story out, you can go to www.starnewsonline.com. Okay, and you could check the rest of this story out, folks. All right, let's move right along. Let's see. Okay, Johnson & Johnson's eBay shop to be managed by Pentagon. Okay. This is news to me. This is news to me. This came out again October 1st by Chris Dawson. We are Pentagon. So that is it, right? Okay, we are Pentagon have just linked a deal to manage 5 key Johnson & Johnson beauty brands on eBay UK. The new Johnson & Johnson's official eBay shop will feature top-selling lines of Neutrogena, Aveeno, Rogaine, Listerine, Nicorette, and Johnson's Baby as well as offered the product bundles exclusively to its marketplace. Well, that's nice. I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole thing reading here. I just thought I'd share it with you guys. It's something that you might want to look into. Again, if you'd like to read the rest of the story, you know where to go, tamebay.com. So I'm going to bump out of here. And this is that one here. Now, this one here is the same basic story. Tamebay did it. It's response to Canada's de minimis threshold U.S.-Mexico CA agreement. I'm not going to get all into it here. It just basically is the same thing. Toronto, October 1st, 2018, CNW. eBay Canada has long advocated for trade policies that lessen the burden on the Canadian consumers and small businesses, SMBs, who want to participate in the global economy. As we understand it right now, the Canadian de minimis provisions in the USMCA applies only to shipments made by a private courier. It does nothing to change the 30-year-old threshold for the postal shipments, as such as it's fair for the Canadian taxpayers. And then it goes on and on. You can read more about this here if you like. You can check it out. And that there is the website is newswire.ca. All right, you could check that one out. Here is a story. It's going to probably play the video if I can get it there to work properly. It says it'll be a crook set up fake PayPal. Whoops. Oh, hold on here. It jumped on already. I didn't get a chance to play it here. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna have commercials here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause my camera really quick. First, I want to tell you a little about it. I'm gonna pause it, get it to where it's gonna play, and then we'll take it from there. It just goes over to see. It goes on to say, and by the way, the website here is www.wcpo.com. Okay, so check that out. This is good to know. Okay, for people. That's why I came across this one. I said I got to let people know about this here. And I'm going to play the video in a second, but it just goes via crook set up fake PayPal pages to scam you, warning sellers on eBay or warning to sellers on eBay or Craigslist. This was posted October 1st and was updated again October 1st as well. Let's see here. It goes over here. Scammers are finding new ways to target people trying to sell household goods online. The latest fake PayPal pages to prove they paid for something they were trying to sell online. And then the girl goes on to talk about it. Ashley Little was hoping to make a little extra money. So the Deerfield Township, Ohio woman posted her Canon EOS digital camera on eBay to avoid the scammers she encountered on Craigslist in the past. I felt like eBay was the safest place to go, she explained. I know the process of eBay is selling and buying. And then it goes over here to say, but even eBay isn't immune from sophisticated scammers. In this case, a buyer who messaged her to say he had paid and now he wanted the camera. Okay, he went on. He said he sent over the payment. She said, but I said, a lot of says in here, right? I didn't get an email from the PayPal or anything. So the buyer messaged her on a screenshot showing her PayPal payment. And it goes on to, you can read the rest of this here. I'm not going to go on here, but it talks about how to protect yourself. You could read the story if you could, if you wish to. This one here, like I said again, the website is www.wcpo.com. All right. So let me go get let me get that right to the beginning. I'm going to have to mute my mic for that there, and I'll be right back with you to let you listen to the story, her story. Okay, folks, here's the video. Check it out. I'm going to mute my mic so I don't get any feedback. Here we go.
Scammers find new ways to target us every few weeks, it seems. The latest way, fake PayPal pages to prove they paid for something we were trying to sell online. One tri-state woman almost fell for it and wants to warn everyone. Ashley Lytle was hoping to make a little extra money.
I had a camera that was just sitting there.
So she posted her Canon EOS digital camera on eBay to avoid the scammers she's encountered on Craigslist in the past.
eBay's the safest place to go. I know eBay and I know the process of eBay of selling and buying.
But even eBay isn't immune, in this case from a buyer who messaged her to say he had paid and now wanted the camera.
He said, I sent over the payment. And then I was like, I didn't get an email from PayPal or anything.
So he messaged her a screenshot of his PayPal payment. Ashley says she was just inches away from shipping the camera because the PayPal transaction screen the buyer sent her looked legitimate and perfect.
He sent me a fake PayPal transaction screen.
Turns out he had photoshopped the payment page. Her account showed no recent activity. So how can you protect yourself selling something online? On eBay, never complete a transaction outside of eBay. On Craigslist or selling apps, never accept a check for more than your asking price. Never agree to refund any overpayment. And beware buyers who are outside the USA. Ashley's glad she backed out.
If I would have sent him the camera, I wouldn't have gotten paid, and the camera would have been gone forever.
Now it's a lot of money. She still has the camera for sale and will be much more careful next time.
Okay, folks, there you have it. Again, you know, you got to be careful. Let me just bump out of here, also I'll get playing music here. That's the next story coming up. Yeah, when it comes to things of that nature, when you know, doing business outside of eBay, these are the things you're going to entail. So please be careful. That's why I played the video. I hope you guys could get something out of it. Be very cautious when it comes to Craigslist. You know, of things that, you know, like I said again, I don't do business on Craigslist, to be honest with you. I'm not saying I dislike the website or anything like that, but I'd rather stick with something I know and I feel comfortable with. So eBay's the way to go. But anyway, let's get to this last picture here, this last topic here, and then I'm going to close out this reseller news. As you can see here, this was posted, this came out, all right, it was September 28, 2018, but it says over here, Apple's new policy includes tracking your calls and emails. Now, I received this email notification today. It came to me, even though it's a couple days old, I know that, but it's good to keep you abreast of things. All right, so you know what's going on. At least they're giving you an upfront here, right? They're giving you a shout out. Hey, you know, Apple's new policy includes tracking your calls and emails. So, you know, at least you know ahead of time. It goes on to say Apple has had a busy few weeks with the release of a ton of new products. The iPhone X, XS, well, what if XS Max or whatever, an XR, all right, and the Apple 4 Watch were all rolled out at the same time and have a lot of cool features, taking technology and innovation to a whole new level. It is awesome that we are able to do things like ask Siri what the weather will be like on the iPhones, track your heart rate, and on the Apple Watch, and processes transactions with the Apple Pay. But there is one glaring problem. It is really convenient to be able to autofill out information when shopping online, but how much information we share is stored, is who exactly has access to it. Are we trading our safety for convenience? You can read the rest of this story, folks. Now, I do have an Apple iPhone. I don't have the new one. I don't know if this pertains to the new iPhone. I would think it goes right across, but I could be wrong. Don't hold me accountable for it. That's why I'm sharing it with you. You know, if this is the case, which it is, according to this, they're being right out front and open with it. You just got to be careful. You got to be careful when it comes to you know, what you put on your phone and what you're sending out in cyberspace there, so to speak. So you know, they had a thing about this. There's a video, I think a tape that's going to come out soon. It's all about security, about the cyberspace, about security. I don't know, I can't think of the name offhand, but if I do, I'll put it in the link. I'll do a little research on it and see if I can put it on there. You might want to check it out when it comes out. I'm not sure if it's going to come out sometime this month, but if I come across it, I will put it in the link, and this way you guys could check it out. Very important, folks. There's a lot of things going on, as you know, with the look at Facebook. It would breach 50 million accounts. All right, 50 million Facebook accounts have been breached. So you know, that's an ongoing issue. That's a problem that we got going on here. So you know, you might want to look into this here and try to protect your identity and your information as best you can. Watch what you're putting on your phone or what you're transmitting, because believe me, you know, there's more information in cyberspace about you than like they say the government knows. You know, like they were saying that Google and the other companies know more about you. I think it was Google and Facebook know more about you than the government does. You know, that's how much information they have about you. So everything you type in, you know, people might think it's, you know, it's data encrypted algorithm, but let me tell you something. You know, everything. That's why they have all these ad blockers and they have all this spam software and stuff like that and privacy things. You could have your private, you can go, put your browser to privacy and stuff like that. But somewhere down the line, I believe people can still extract that information if need be. I'm just going to bump out of the screen here, folks, and go over here because I don't like just talking in the air over there. Yeah, but you might want to really check into that there, especially if you if you're a person that basically lives on your phone. I know people like that. On my last job I worked at, people would say, I have everything on my cell phone. I do everything on there. I conduct work, business on there. I got diary information. I got my banking information. You name it, it's on there. I mean, if you really think about an iPhone or any phone, cell phone, it's basically as a handheld computer as far as I'm concerned. As a matter of fact, I read an article once before. Well, they said eventually, or at least I don't think that, it could be, someone said eventually they want to phase out the laptops altogether, and that's why I think the phones are getting bigger, and just people will use their cell phones versus a laptop or whatever. Me personally, if I had the option, as long as they don't phase them out, I'm always going to have my laptop or a desktop. Okay, I can't. Well, I have the iPhone 5S, and it's a small phone, a very small screen. My daughters, they have the latest ones, not the IRS, not the XS. They didn't get that one, but I think they both had the iPhone 8, and it's a nice size phone. It's about yay big, the iPhone 8, but it's big. And the reason why I like this one here is because I strap it in a holster on my side, so when I go out, I'm not going to carry this big monstrosity thing in my pocket. To me, it's like a small tablet, to be honest with you. And they're making the phones bigger to some point. I think it's going to get ridiculous because someday they're going to have the phones. It's going to be probably as big as a tablet, to be honest with you. That's the way it seems like it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I remember when I had the flip phone, the screen was only yay big. And you had to like squint looking at it. I wear glasses for reading. I had to definitely wear glasses to look at that because the screen was only like this big. But yeah, it just seems to me like they're getting bigger and bigger. And I'll be honest with you, I would never want to give up my laptop because I think if I'm going to travel or whatever, not that I do a lot of traveling, but if I did, I would like to take a laptop versus working off an iPhone. The iPhone is a very good tool. I look at it as a tool, and it is. I use it, like I said, I haven't been going to thrift stores in a long time, but I use it when I have to look stuff up. If I'm in the thrift store, I go to eBay, I look up there, do the searches and stuff like that. It comes in handy for stuff like that. Plus, I have a prepaid service with T-Mobile. I love it. I mean, a lot of people say prepaid. What can you get with prepaid? For me, it works. I consider myself the frugal entrepreneur. I don't want any monthly expenses on anything of that nature as far as like a cell phone. I don't use a cell phone that much. That's why when I go into thrift stores, I'm always in the areas where there's free Wi-Fi. And I don't have to use my minutes, which I don't get much, because it costs me every 90 days, mind you, $10 and change. I think it's $10.87 with the tax, whatever. And I think it gives you 35 minutes or something like that. I know people are saying 35 minutes, that's a joke. But I could still text, okay? I can still text my children. They could still call me. I think it's 10 cents a minute. To be honest with you, I can't remember the last time my kids called me on my cell phone. And the only reason why I have it, folks, to be honest with you, is for emergency purposes. If I'm driving on the road, my car breaks down, I can make a phone call up a tow truck, whatever, call for roadside assistance. But otherwise, I'm not one of these guys that you'll see talking on the phone 24/7. First, if I can't, because I only got a prepaid service, I only get 35 minutes, so if I'm talking to somebody for a long period of time, my minutes are gone, and then my service will shut down, or it just goes in. I won't be able to make calls. I can receive my thing until you pay or reactivate your account, replenish it. But for the most part, I don't care like much for a cell phone. I'm not really a cell phone person, But there are people that live on it and they swear by it. Oh, I can't. I need this phone. I will say one thing though. There was a time when I almost left the house without it. And I did actually. I drove down a block and I'm feeling my holster on my side, my belt here. And I said, oh, geez, I left the cell phone home. And I went home to get it. Not because I'm a cell phone junkie that I have to have that cell phone, but I figured, God forbid, if I'm on the road, something happens or my kids need to get in touch with me or whatever, at least they can get in communication with me, But that's the whole thing with that part. But otherwise, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some information out of it. I hope it helps. You know, like I said in my other videos, I do put these videos out to help people in the reselling business. Outside, I do talk about other things as well. It's not just basically reselling, but the reseller news is for reselling e-commerce. So I hope you guys really do get something out of it. I hope you get a takeaway, and I hope it helps you. You know, I know there's people out there saying, "Well, I can get other news resources from TV," but in some cases, what I like about doing the reseller news is that it focuses on reselling. Okay. I don't discuss anything outside of reselling. Occasionally, I will talk about something else, deviate, but it's always going to be basically on business. I don't. If you notice, I don't talk about sports. I don't talk about the weather. It's all about reselling. Okay, it's all deals with e-commerce, and that's what I like about it. And if I wasn't the one to create this channel or create a reseller news, and I did come across somebody that does talk about it, I would definitely subscribe, because that's something I'm interested in. Reselling, you know, that's the line of work I'm in, or the business I'm in, and that's what this channel I would subscribe to. And I hope you guys out there, that whether you're a buyer or a seller, or you're involved in any other selling platform, I do discuss eBay, Amazon, Etsy when it comes up. I don't talk about it all the time, but when I do get the Google alerts and I get other information from various websites, I will put it out there. But for the most part, though, I do hope that you guys out there do enjoy the information, and I hope you get a takeaway from it. I hope it helps you out. Now, that's the whole purpose of this channel, folks. It's not so much for me, it's to help you guys out. But we're both learning. It's a learning experience for both of us, because, you know, what I'm sharing with you, I'm also picking up and learning too. And that's why I keep prepared with me. I always jot down little notes when I come across, like I got tons of emails with all different resources to, you know, throw out there to you guys and in the YouTube community. So, you know, I hope you like it. I hope you'll comment and share this information. If you know anybody that's interested in, or is a reseller or something that deals with e-commerce, please share the link, share this YouTube channel. Trying to make it grow in numbers, I hope. I noticed in some of my other videos, I talked about how it goes up and down. My subscribers, you know, people subscribe and they unsubscribe, and I really would hope to build up a big audience so I could put out stuff out there. So the more the people that sign up or register, or I should say subscribe, the better it is for me, because now I know I'm broadcasting to a wider audience, hoping that the more people I could get the information out to, it'll be that much help, you know. So please, I can't express it enough, to please subscribe. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and please hit that like button, and mostly hit that bell notification, so you'll get updates when I put out fresh stuff, fresh content. This is Rich Pasini signing off today. It's the Reseller News. Today is October 2nd, 2018. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Until next time. Bye-bye now.